Have you ever been carried before and wondered, why can't you do that? Or lost a game wishing that you could have done more? Well, buckle up, because that's what this video is all about. What's going on, ProGuides fam? Kangas here, and today we're talking about tips of how you can carry your teammates and be more impactful in your games. Many of these things you can start improving on right away, but others may need time to start seeing its effects. Don't worry though, if you take these tips to heart and play with the goal of improving on these skills, not only will you start becoming the hard carry in your teams, but you'll also start noticing your gameplay level up in ways that you couldn't even imagine. But I want to be clear here that the first step to hard carrying is by subscribing to the ProGuides channel and visiting our website ProGuides.com. We got rating and immortal level coaches that are eager to help you unlock your star potential. Having a coach who can help you individually is way more beneficial than I can help out in one video, and every session will be tailored to your specific needs. So if you want to improve at record speeds, make sure to come check us out. So I got a question for you. What do players like Durka, Tens, and even Asuna have in common? More often than not, they find the opening kill by being proactive. What this means is that they control when and where the opening duel is taken, rather than just waiting for the enemy to come to them. If you think about it, the opening kill is actually worth 2 kills. First of all, you're killing an enemy, and second of all, if you escape, you're a kill that their team didn't get. In the same sense, there will always be an opening kill somewhere, so if you can get the drop on your opponent while also staying alive, you are giving your team a huge advantage right off the rip. But chasing first bloods doesn't mean that you have to play recklessly. To maximize your chances, you should think about where enemies have been playing and ways that you can abuse their defaults. And this matters even more on the attacker side. Now, defense, a 4v4 or 3v3 will always favor the attacker, as you have to spread your players around the map to defend sites. That means that trading aggressively is encouraged for attackers. Duh. But also that as a defender, the first kill matters that much more. Even if you don't find a duel on defense, your play is still valuable, as it could allow you to get great information on where the enemies are, or in this case, where the enemies are not. As we all know, Haven can be quite tricky to play on the CT side, as your defense is stretched thin because of the 3 bomb sites. So early info, or even just knowing an entire side of the map is locked down, that's invaluable. One of the best examples of getting massive value out of being proactive is pushing A short at the start of the round on Haven. If you duel an enemy, then you give yourself the chance to make the opening pick, and if you don't find an enemy, well, you just secured your teammates a lot of control. Of course, be careful not to be too predictable though. So our next tip is a simple one, but pretty effective. Just play with confidence. Playing with confidence can take a good player to that next level. I can't stress this enough, just being confident in yourself is crucial. If you don't think that you will kill that player, odds are you probably won't. If you're too hesitant, you'll only hurt yourself when you take a duel, so being decisive when you take a fight is a very important skill. When players take over games, you see them putting themselves in positions to make multi-kills happen, and then they deliver. If you're not confident, you'll never even be in those positions in the first place. The main difference between a player when they're confident versus when they're hesitant is like watching 2 completely different players. That being said, confidence can be a double-edged sword. On one side, you can peek confidently because you know your positioning is strong, or you created an advantage through agent abilities or communication. The other side that borders arrogance is when you peek because you just think that you're better and forgetting smart play in the process. Don't err on the side of recklessness in your confidence. Eventually, the enemy team will catch on to your aggression or your tendencies to overpeak, resulting in them punishing you on a key round, and that will cost you. However, sometimes the enemy catches you off because they got a good read on you. This in itself shouldn't shake you, and you shouldn't immediately lose all confidence in yourself. Rather, you should try to adapt your playstyle to find different ways to counter them. Confidence as a whole is a build-up of your belief in your own capabilities, your read on your opponent, and your comfort in whatever situation that you're currently in. It takes some time to build up, but being aware of when you're feeling confident, hesitant, or even careless is a great way to start molding yourself into a player who can then hard carry. Now, before we continue, it's time for our question of the day. On the topic of comfortability and self-confidence, what agent do you feel the most comfortable on? Being comfortable is a huge component of carrying your team, because if you're not, then you're not going to be confident. Personally, I feel most comfortable on Killjoy. I practiced her a ton, and I like playing more passive than going for entry frags. Also, it might sound weird, but I just feel the most comfortable in a game of Valorant when there's no teammates near me. I don't know if that's something weird about my psyche or what's going on there, but that's just me, so Killjoy is the perfect agent for me. But let me know your answer in the comments down below. So you've noticed that your team is struggling and you're starting to get a little riled up. Whatever you do, don't tilt. A massive contributor to carrying your team is to have a rock-solid mentality. Although the results may look bleak, there's absolutely no reason why you should tilt. Tilting will only hurt your own confidence and playstyle, and potentially make your teammates less likely to coordinate or play well, especially if your anger is pointed at them. After all, your bad vibes could sour the whole team's mood, and that is a surefire recipe for a losing team. Tilting also makes you rely on your emotions to dictate your plays, which can lead to reckless gameplay or overly hesitant gameplay. When you lose control of your emotions, you then lose control of your impact on the game as well. Not just that, but getting yourself trapped in tilt will only make you play worse, and that will only result in you getting more annoyed. So if you catch yourself tilting, take a deep breath and reset your mentality. If there are still rounds to win, your focus should be on how to win those rounds instead of the reasons why your teammates messed up or why the enemy got lucky. If you find your teammates are constantly doing a play that doesn't work, try to suggest other plays in a gentle way, or perhaps find a way to help them make the play better. If they mess up on an individual level, chances are they already know it, and maybe they even know why, so there's really no reason to remind them and then hurt their confidence in the process. Ultimately, if you make sure not to tilt, you'll have a greater chance of winning. And this ties in with confidence as well, because confident, untiltable players are unstoppable. Next up, if you want to maximize your chances of solo carrying, you need to learn how to actually play off of your teammates. Playing off your teammates might sound easy, but you'd be surprised at the number of players who get the wrong idea. I'm not suggesting that you bait your teammates and try to clutch, rather try to enhance their play through supporting them or following up with them. If a teammate looks like they're about to swing, go with them, as that will increase your chances of getting the kill or at least trading equally. One of the most underdeveloped skills players in ranks need to work on is their communication. Communicating with your team allows for all of you to be on the same page so that you can coordinate a gameplay or plan. Whether you are organizing an entire site execution or simply getting a teammate to flash you in, any amount of utility can even the playing field or even turn the tide of an entire fight. Simply asking for supportive abilities when going for a play can be the difference between you getting shut down or securing a kill or two. But even without communication, a good player is always aware of the situation, whether it's through watching the minimap, keeping track of information, or noticing your teammates' intentions through their movements. So if you see your teammates try to make a play, find a way to help them. If they died in vain, you guys are already at a big disadvantage anyway. You'd be surprised how much you can actually get away with by just playing off your teammates, even if the play itself was bad. Now, one great way to play off your teammates more often is to put yourself in the position to do so. Now, that sounds obvious, but what I mean is playing with a pack on attacker side and finding high-impact positions that allow you to quickly rotate between hotly contested areas of the map. These are often called rotator positions, and these spots allow you to never be too far from the action. B Heaven on Split, for example, allows you to fight both middle and B, as well as quickly rotate through A vents. This position allows you to do a number of plays, such as fighting mid or pushing B main early in the round, allowing you to find early round picks because these are high traffic areas for players. And assuming each play gets information on a crucial piece of the map, you always have the potential of making the round-winning play. Another example of a position like this is Garage on Haven, as you can fight middle through the doors, C-side from the corridor, and quickly rotate to B to help anyone getting rushed down. Learning the ins and outs of those positions will not only spread your influence on the map, it also helps you get better at playing off of your teammates and working around them. You can't carry if you aren't in a position to carry, so make sure that you put yourself in the right spots to make the magic happen. And finally, the last tip that we have is more myth-busting than a specific tip. One thing many lower-ranked players incorrectly link is kills and impact. You can have 20 kills in the first half, but only win 3 rounds. Unfortunately, not all kills are born equal, and you won't say a double entry into a site has the same impact as 2 exit kills on the last round of the half. Playing for impact can be defined as an action that a player makes to increase their chances of winning, not just upping their stat line. When most players talk about impact, they talk about kills and their context. In particular, opening kills, clutches, and multi-frags are the most widely identifiable impactful kills. A 3K on a pistol round can set you up to win the next 2 rounds, while a 3K against an eco round doesn't carry as much weight to the overall outcome of the game. That's not to say the eco kills are meaningless, as if you don't get them, you would obviously still lose the round. A way to focus on finding more impact is to identify a weakness the enemy has or a strength that you have, and then try to exploit it. Consistently winning the opening duel will set your team up to succeed, or trading your teammate for 2 enemies is greatly beneficial. But with all this talk about kills, you might be led to think that kills are still the only way to have an impact on the game. I think we all should realize that couldn't be further from the truth, because as already stated, stats do not show everything, and you'll often hear casters in pro games talk about a player having an impact without even killing somebody. Finding crucial information for your team, creating space, in-game leading, and my personal favorite, being a hype man for your team, are all ways of having impact in a game without necessarily clicking on heads. Yes, this video may be called How to Hard Carry Your Teammates, but it's also important to know how to set your teammates up to enable them to carry you as well. After all, Valorant is a team game, and making a team function well is high-impact play that has no kill rewards at all. And that wraps up our video on how to hard carry your teammates. At the end of the day, you need to recognize good plays and how to have impact if you're having an off day. Those things will help you reach the top. As you improve as a player, you'll be able to have an A game, B game, and maybe even a C game plan. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like and consider subbing to our channel. We got way more content coming out just like this that you will not want to miss. Also, don't forget to check out ProGuides.com to gain access to some truly amazing coaching. Once again, I've been Kangas. Best of luck on the grind, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.